Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. My name's Leah and this is the Leah way, and this is the Leah way of using the Wonderland 222 2024 unstacked all-in-one planner. Wow, that's a mouthful. So I thought I would take you on a bit of a journey. I want to show you inside the planner, and then I'm going to talk about different ways that you can use the planner. And this attributes to any planner really, how you can use it. And then I will be semi-setting it up. I have got some stuff already in here. I'm not ready to set it up completely. I'm still figuring out what I want to do, but I just wanted to show you some ideas and what I do in order to work out what I want to use it for. So first of all, if you've got a printer or a photocopier or whatever, I actually photocopied the pages out of here because I didn't want to ruin the pages in here. I haven't got a practice one, so I thought it'd be really good to get some pages printed out of the things that I want to use things for. Let me just move these for the time being. Let me just take you on a journey through the actual planner. So the Wonderland 222 planner, you start off, you have your key, your index. I don't know what people use these for, but I will figure something out because I don't want it to just be this. You then get your 4-year calendar, and I probably would use it. So we use to signify when we're having the kids because we share time with another parent. So that would be good. And it's also good just to plot where we are, you know, what's going on when we might go on holiday, etc. I would also use this possibly to just mark out when the school holidays are. It's just an easy way of finding things. Okay, then you have your yearly, and I'll show you what we do with that in a minute. Like I say, I've not plotted anything in there. Then you have your quarterly. I love this because you don't get this in every planner, and I quite like the idea of this. And I'll show you what I want to do with that. Then we go into the routine trackers. Now, I've already started to fill this one in, and I've got a mood tracker for one of our children that is struggling with anxiety and also has ADHD and suspected autism. We're just going through the diagnosis, and this is a really good way for me to understand how they're feeling just through the day, what's happening, and just get a better idea. Then also I want to encourage more fruit and veg at the moment with the sensory issues that our children have. They struggle to eat fruit and veg, so we're just really trying to make sure that that is something that we get into a habit of giving them. But they're not with us all the time, but we just want to make sure that we've done that. And then cleaning, getting them to clean their rooms, and that means if they keep their room tidy, then they get to get pocket money. So that is the idea of it, is to track for them. This is a family catch-all planner, I should have said, and that's what I'm using it for. However, my other one, my B6, also has trackers, and that is for self-care, and I'll show you a bit of that later because I have put some ideas together. And then we go into the overview page, which I will show you, which is what's going to happen, what we want to happen in this month. I've started putting together my monthly page. This was November's date, so I've put in work, finances, important appointments on here, and then have a look what we're going to do. So I have actually put things in, which is really nice already. Then we go into the weeklies, which if you are a fan of Hobonichi, this is a very similar layout in terms of every day has a column, you have a sidebar, and then you have some room down the bottom. The difference between this and that is this is only 7 till 10, which is good because actually I don't really do anything. I was just putting a to-do list at the top before. But I'll show you lots of different ways in which you can use this. I love the weekly pages. I like to see things out in a weekly spread. There's so many ways that you can use this and maximise the space. So very exciting. And then we have, at the end, you do a review of the month, and then you can go into your overview. So there's a bit of a monthly reset, which is great. And again, I'll show you how I'm going to use that. And then we have the daily pages. And at the moment, I am probably going to use them for brain dumping. I might do some commonplace planning in here, especially with the family stuff. Might do some journaling, but I am not going to. Luckily, they're not dated, so I can just continually use it. Might use it just for notes, things that I want to remember for the family. So that is the daily pages. So let me just show you. This is what I did. makes more sense if I show you. So I printed off the pages. I really would say, if you don't know what you're going to do with your planners, print out the pages like this and work it out. And just, I've got some ideas of what I might use it for. So with the annual calendar, so for me, I'm going to be putting in the school holidays. The kids have the same school holidays mostly. Some of the inset days are different because they go to different schools. So we'll put all of those in. And also this year is SATS year for our daughter. So we'll put those important dates in. We know where they've got some important dates that are coming up. So anything that's important will go in here, just marking when the school holidays are and just making sure we know when they're off. There'll also be some, down here there's notes. I'm going to actually put in what they are. So if there's like a, I don't know, Harvest Festival, we'll put that in so that we know that they need to take something or anything that they've got. The other thing you could use this for is to mark birthdays. You could do steps per day if you were counting your steps, calories per day. You could put in here weight if you wanted, if that's something that you wanted to track, or periods. And I might even do that on the same. Well, no, because I've got my other one, which is my self-care one. So my self-care one, I'll probably put my period tracker in here, which is actually really useful because you can see patterns and stuff like that. So I will do that with that. So you've got lots of uses for this particular calendar. It's just a small space so you can just add in figures. Some people use it to track things like periods, water, whatever they want to. They might use it as a tracker, but as you'll see, there is trackers that we get in here. So like I say, I've used that one in the catch-all for my children. This one is probably what I'm going to be doing for myself in my self-care one. So I've got things like walk 10k a day, drink 8 glasses of water a day. I've put things in here just as examples: groom dogs, for example, brush your teeth, wash hair, read books, post videos. You know, all of the stuff that maybe I want to do for myself is going in here. You can break it so that what they've done, you can't see there's the lines here because of how it's photocopied. But what they've also done, let me just show you in the book. So what they've done is they've put very faint lines in between. They've broken it down so you could have 2 different things here. They've also broken it down further by having like a darker line. So each one is 2 lines. So you could just do 2, if you didn't want to have small ones and you wanted to fill this out or you wanted to see it in a different way, you could do it like that. There is another way of doing things. So you could, like I've done here, I've put this is my mood tracker, so you could actually make these lines your mood tracker. You don't have to draw your own one. I would like to keep them separate because I quite like doing it in a graph. But you could do that on here. You could just break it up. There's loads of things that you could do. There's enough room to put it in. You don't have to fill every space. So that's good. Or you can break it down and have like your main things that you want to track here and then your mood track here or whatever. But also for work, if you're doing one for work, I've put things like finish work on time, close my inbox, update the diary. And then also if it was for, it might be posting videos, might be posting content. If you're using this as a content scheduler, I do have this in my social media diary. And then things like subscriber count, you might want to see if it's going up or down. I've put 100 to 1,000 in a month, for example, if that's what I wanted to do. And then I would add that and decline that and just have a visual. I quite like having a visual. So that's the routine trackers. I do like that. There's also like it's a timeline as well. So it might be that you want to add in, if you had different people in the family that you know are going to be away, or if you were using this for work, you could put your team names in. They're going to be away at different dates. It could be that you have deadlines for things. I certainly work on deadlines, so it might be that I have different projects that I need to do, and then I add in all the things, and when there's overlaps, I'll be able to identify where I'm going to be particularly busy. So it is a routine tracker, but it's basically a Gantt chart. So you've got that opportunity to put that in. If you were using that for work, you've got that. It's a really good way of doing that. So you can habit track, but you can also, could be projects that you're doing at home. Could be you want to do some work in the house and you know that in February, you've got the whole of February to do, I don't know, redecorating, and then you need to buy paint, you need to do this, that and that, and you can plot it out, which is a really good use of using a timeline like this. And you could probably budget down here as well. That's a really good way. It was one, you know, when you're talking and suddenly you think, oh, that's a really good idea. So if you were doing any home improvements, that would work really well. Then you get your quarterly. So I've just printed 2 pages out, but these are ideas that I might use it for. So you could use it as a budget planner. So you could either write down when all your bills are coming out in the month. You could write down your incomings, your outgoings, whatever you want, and then just have this as a budget planner. I think that's a really good use of this, if that's what you want. Meal planning. For me, this is probably what I will use it for, because we need to meal plan. We're on, you know, there's a couple of things. We want to eat more vegetarian, not because we're trying to be kind of for the planet or anything. It's just that we actually just prefer vegetarian food. So I want to be able to plot when we're having things, and I want to see how much vegetarian meals we're having in comparison to meat, for example. Then I want to pick some recipes that maybe we've not done before, and then also add in a shopping list. So there's lots of ideas and how you can use this. You could use just for birthdays and events that are coming up, just say when things are happening. It's really nice to be able to see the months in those, you know, in this way. The other thing that you can do is do it by quarter. You could say that you might have a project. You might want to be able to see it all in one go. It's going to take 3 months to do, and you'll be able to plot it out here and then just add any of the notes. It could be budget. It could be whatever you're planning, who you need to call. It could be contacts. It could be things that are going to impact it. So you've got that use of the quarterly. Personally, I'm probably just going to use it for meal planning in mine. I just find this really useful when you can see it all in one go. Also, what's really good is if you're meal planning all the time, you can just see where you've particularly enjoyed a meal. You can bring it over. You can also budget and work out what's going to be a cheaper week for you. So I don't know. I feel like it's going to work really well in that planner for me. So I've got some different ways of using the overview and the reviews. Okay, so firstly, when you come up to a month, you have got the overview. So I've broken it down into different things for me. I'll probably have a to-do list up front. This is what I want to do in January. These are the important things that I want to highlight. Then I'm going to have like a to read, to watch, to cook, to go. Now, I've just put those in my one. I've actually split it down by child. So I've got their names, and obviously if anything important is happening, that's what you could add in. That's what I'm doing in my one. But for my self-care one, I might put these in and just have it as a bit of a what I want to do in January. You could use this part as a brain dump, or like I want to do, I want to manifest and I want to have affirmations in my self-care one. So I've got this space as well. It's a bit smaller because it's a B6, but I'll be putting in my monthly affirmation and my manifestations. That's what I want to do. So you've got a lot of space to do a lot of things. I've seen people do like reflections or future plans, and just even though the pages are split down in a certain way, you can just use it as a blank page. You could put stickers in, you could, whatever you wanted. And then for the review, this is great because this is where you can do your reset, but there's lots of things that you can add in. So obviously if you did a to read, you could do your books read, to watch, TV watch, to cook, meals cooked, and then I've put to go, but I could put in my best moments there, or you could put that over here and just say places visited, for example. So I've also then got any completed tasks and anything I want to carry over in this one, or you could do a little memory plan. This is what happened that you enjoyed, if you want to do a bit of journaling but not loads, or you could just put a little doodle in if you're that sort of person. You can use this whole box to write in if you want to, or this whole bit to write in, or you can break it down. I also put in that if you were working on productivity or anything in your weeklies, then I'll show you that in a minute actually, because it makes more sense. You could add in your productivity score for the month, or you could see in that month what your mood was, if it, you know, how much percentage it was of those things. If you are goal setting, you could say if there was any goals that you've reached, or there's any goals that you want to set out or want to change, because things like goals are movable. Just remember that. Or you could just memory plan. Again, I say memory plan, it's capturing what's happened in the month. You could just put something in or put your highlights in. I used to do that actually every month in mine. I really enjoyed it. So I haven't decided per se what to do in the one for the family catch-all, but I will do when I come down to it, because I will have each of the kids in there and some notes in here, so I'll probably just put something here at the end. But this is the one I wanted to show you. So this is the one that I think is really exciting, because I don't think people realise how much you can do in just a weekly plan. Okay, I'll get it so you can see it. Oh, hold on, before I do. These are what you could do in your monthly review. You could say what went well, what was challenging, what improvements need to be made, and maybe some rewards and some reflections of the month. Sorry, that was another way that I was planning on using it. But I think the thing is with these is that if you do this, you can work out what is important to you, what you want to say, what you want to have in your planner, and how you want to keep it. Okay, so I've broken this down. This isn't how a week would look. I've just got different ways of using the weekly planner. So firstly, similar to what I would do, this is how I would probably use it. So I would do a to-do list at the top, like I always do. I struggle with long to-do lists. I like to have just 3 main things that I need to get done in a day, and they could be as trivial as drinking water, it could be as trivial as taking a vitamin, or it could be something really important that I want to get done in that day. But if I do that, I will get it done. More than likely it will happen. And then I usually just put in what's happening in the day. So if I've got any appointments, if I'm working, if there's anything that the kids are doing, if there's anything that my partner's doing, that all goes in here. And I just tend to plot that out during the week and then add in a bit of memory planning, a tiny bit of memory planning, or what's going to happen. And I try and also plot when I'm going to do things like washing, put washing away, and shopping, stuff like that. So that all goes in here. And then at the bottom, there's this space here. And I have different uses for it, really. I just sort of brain dump, or I'll put a little bit of a memory plan in there, or I'll put a doodle or a sticker. I do find that I do use this, and I just do it at the end of the day or the next day, just to reflect on what's happened the day before. It could even be just I haven't done the to-do list and I want to bring it over. So that's what I do. However, there are different uses. These boxes are quite big. So you could, if you wanted to, put in a track, you could put in trackers all along the top, so that they are for the week, like this. So it could be sleep, it could be water, whatever you want to. So you could put them in. You've got enough room to have trackers all along the top. If that's something you wanted to do every week, is just keep a visual of what's happening in the week, rather than having to flip over to the habit tracker. You've got it here. So that's an option. I'll carry on the top bits because I feel like that's important. So you could put in a quote of the day, something, or if you are doing Bible studies, or if you are somebody who's studying for school, or if there's just something that you particularly like. It could be commonplace even. There could be a quote that you've heard or seen from a book that you're reading. Just pop that in. You could do that if you want to. You could put a sticker in there if you wanted to. You could put down your mood every day, like how do you feel, and maybe the weather. Like there's a lot of room here, so you could just say like mood, and it could be affected by the weather. You could even do the moon phases if you wanted to, just to sort of see how your mood is reflected in the moon phases. Or you could do a currently in the top of each of these, currently reading, currently watching, whatever you wanted to just have that there as a reminder. Or like I might do in this one is a meal plan. What's happening, breakfast, lunch, dinner. You've got so much space and it is not constrained, but you could do anything you want. You could do a doodle a day if you wanted. I like this space at the top. I think it's really useful. If I was somebody who was up at 5 a.m. and I was annoyed that there wasn't a 5 a.m, I would just add them in as well. So you could add in those earlier times if that's what you want to do. So that's the top half. Okay, or you could just add in a word of the day, whatever you wanted. Okay, so the other way that I've seen people use it is to journal in this tiny space, and it actually looks really nice when people journal in this space. If you're somebody who finds that daily page really quite overwhelming, then journaling in here, you can get quite a lot in here. So I've just written anything in here. There's nothing exciting in there. I just wanted to fill it up with words so you could see what it looks like. So you could do that. You could add in a journal per day in this area here. If you wanted to, you could extend that, or you could do the whole day if you wanted to. You've got room to do that, but I've just used this space here. Then you could do maybe some colour coding for each of the people in your family. So, you know, I've got me, our daughter and my partner. We have other kids as well, but they're not with us during the week every week. So it could be that. You could just add in just trackers in here. You could just do a to-do list, which is absolutely fine for the day, if that's what you wanted to have in there. You might have a really long to-do list. You might like to bullet journal, which is a method that you can use to, you know, track every day and then take it over. Some people like to view things in a weekly view. Personally, that is something that I prefer. I do prefer the weekly view. You could do it as a bit of a health tracker, you know, at a certain time. How are you feeling? If you're somebody who suffers with a lot of pain and you're trying to track something to explain to a doctor the way that you're feeling, it could be that, you know, you're fine in the morning, you have something to eat and then you feel terrible. It could be that your pain is at a level 2 and then by 5 p.m. it's at a level 10. Like, you might want to explain it. This might be a way that you're tracking your health, and I think that's really important, and you've got those times to help you out. Then with this one, it's like work. So you might want to track all your things with work. So, you know, actually putting in your meetings, blocking your time out, so you've got an opportunity to do that. And then I've split this one in half, and then I've put myself and my partner, and then just said, like, we might have different things that we're doing in the day, so I'll put it in there. And there's enough space to just put a little bit of writing in there. So you could do it that way if you really wanted, or you could do it so that you're tracking people in the same way here. You could just have a line with the letter of the person, of the name that's in your family, and just put in dots, whatever you want to do. And then the bottom bit here, which I think is a really good space. In Hobonichi, you lose a lot of space down here with like quotes, and not particularly in the weeks, but you've still got quite a lot of space down here. So you could memory plan, you could do this bit, you could add in your, you know, daily what's happened. You could put your cleaning schedule in the day in the bottom half. You might have goals that you want to achieve in the day, so you could put them in there. You could use it as a whole long piece, and you might want to write just what's happened in the week. You might want to do a doodle of the day. You might have your to-do list in this bottom bit. You might put your quote in the bottom bit. So, I mean, everything's interchangeable, I suppose. And then I've got, like, I often do this. I put a next week, so I plot what is going to happen next week in there. So that's really useful. And then you've also got the sidebar. So I always have like a this week and a Monday to Sunday, like the important things that are happening, and my vitamins. I do that in my Hobonichi cousin at the moment, and that may change with because this is the family one, and there is no sidebar in the one that I've got, but I might put that down below, for example, so it's not a problem. You might want to put these trackers over here and have a bundle of trackers. You might want to have your sort of functional tracker over here. This is your productivity tracker. So what are you doing in the week and managing to get those done? And, you know, that is the way that I've used my Hobonichi weeks this year, sorry, but I might want to use it over here. So there is an opportunity to put in so much in this vertical spread. This is not just for the Wonderland 222, but I wanted to show you how it all fits and how it could look. Obviously there's no stickers or anything in here at this point, but I still want to work out what I want to do in mine. I feel like it's probably for what we might have is, you know, similar to this, because that's what I've been doing and I've really found it productive for me. So I might continue doing that one. I could move on to this one, and I might put the meal plan in there, although I'm putting that in my quarterly. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. I do think it's really important for me to have something where I've got a to-do list every day, which is like I have there, and it's at the top. I've tried it at the bottom before and it just didn't work for me. So I probably need to keep it at the top. And I could even put meals down here, whatever I want. And that's the thing, you know, it's your planner and you get to do what you want with it. So that is the Wonderland 222 a planner 2024. I will be setting this up soon, and I will do the setup when I get to it. It's just that I'm just not ready because I'm still using my Hobonichi and I want to add everything in. I'll be taking the cover off this and putting it on my Hobonichi, I think, because I'll be using the cover on there for here. But that is all of the things that I am using my Wonderland 222 A5 all-in-one planner unstacked. Hopefully that helps you with some ideas. Give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. Please share it because that's something that really helps my channel. I've noticed that some of my videos are being shared and honestly that is so great. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, please do because that would really make my day. I hope you're having a good day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.